guys, FilmCrazyAdam here, and welcome to my second review for today, for Disney's Brave. Now, if you've seen a trailer for this movie, as I have, and if that was the only thing that you've seen about it so far, then you didn't go into this movie with knowing a whole lot. We know that the movie has a princess who may be in Scotland or Ireland, and she's not happy with her lot in life. We don't know what that lot specifically is or why she's unhappy about it. We just know that she's not thrilled with the fact that she's a princess, and she seems to want to change that. So that's all you knew. That's all I knew going into this movie. That isn't a whole lot to go on, but the fact that it was a Disney Pixar movie, which I think would go under prejudged reason number 3, which is just source material, I'm going to have to go with it because Disney's Pixar has never done a bad movie, ever. And that's kind of what I went, that's kind of the mindset I went going into this movie. I'm like, I'm expecting this to be pretty good and even a little deep, because that's what Disney Pixar does. They do good movies and they actually have depth to them. Now, you can argue that, Cars and Cars 2 definitely was not Pixar's strong suit, but you can't say that they're terrible. This is one thing that I can say about Disney Pixar that I don't think any director, any actor, or any studio can boast about, that they've never screwed up. They've never made a bad movie. And just on that premise, that's what I went into this movie for. I'm like, I want to go see a movie which I have every right to believe is good just because they've made... Every movie up till now has been good. And you know what? They didn't disappoint. This movie was great. You don't even need to be a fan of Disney. You don't even need to be a fan of kid movies. You don't even need to be a kid to enjoy this movie. This movie was just really good. It had just the right amount of comedy. It had just the right amount of action, drama, even a little sadness. They just, as a whole, it was just really good. But enough gushing. Let me tell you what the movie's about. So, as you know, like I said, from the trailer, we have this princess. She's not happy with her lot in life. Why? Well, because she's the firstborn of the king of this, I guess, nation. They never really explain if it's a country or, if it's just an island, but he's the king. He was kind of elected king by all the clans, and there's like 3 clans in addition to his. And so he's the king, and there are these 3 clans that are part of his kingdom. And the firstborn of all 3 of these clans, it's tradition that the firstborn from each of these clans vies for the hand of the princess of the king, of course. And so that's you start out the movie with the mother, with actually the princess telling you how her mother has been really, like, I don't want to say controlling, but she's kind of like a tiger mom, where she's being taught lessons every day. She's being taught, do this, don't do that, sit up straight, fold your hands, don't eat with big mouthfuls, eat with little mouthfuls, and project your voice. They have to be able to hear you in the back. You have to be sitting with good posture. So kind of annoying, but at the same time, teaching her things. And the princess just doesn't like this. Like any kid, any teenager, they want to do what they want. They don't want to be told what to do. And so, the princess is not happy. And she finds out she finds out the exact same time the audience finds out that she is going to be betrothed to one of these 3 kingdoms, 3 clans. And she hates it. Like, she really they really project how, like, she hates her mom because you never let me do what I want. You're living my life for me. The mother's trying to tell her that, look, I'm not trying to be a jerk. I'm not trying to be awful. I'm not this witch. I'm just trying to prepare you for later on in life. I'm doing this for you. And of course, the daughter doesn't see it that way. She says, no. You're doing this for you, Mom. You're doing this because you say it's what's best for me, but it's really what's best for the kingdom and you. And so she doesn't get it. And at the same time, the mom doesn't get it. as, I'm not a parent. I am a kid, though, or at least I'm a child. And I can tell you that very oftentimes, parents and children just don't get each other. Neither of which is trying to make the other miserable. They're really not. Parents are not, unless you're like one of those abusive, really awful parents, 99%, alright, like 90% of parents really do want the best for their kids. And kids just want to be kids. They want to have fun. They don't want to be controlled. Now, I'm kind of getting away from the topic of I'm not really getting away from the topic of the movie. I haven't talked about the movie, but this is really part of the message of the movie, that it doesn't beat you over the head with this message. Pixar has never done that. They can put messages in their movies, but they never, like, beat you over the head with them like a political campaign or like like a political movie. That's another really great thing about Pixar movies, and another great thing about this movie. Alright, so back to the story. Anyway, girl goes to, you know what? I'm not gonna ruin it. I'm not gonna spoil it any further, because this is one of those movies you need to go see it, and I'm not gonna spoil anything for you. So now I can talk about what I liked about the movie, and I can talk about what I didn't like about the movie. And this is gonna sound like an unfair review, because honestly, if I talk about what I liked about the movie, I would just be talking about the whole movie. If I talk about what I didn't like about the movie, I'm thinking, hold on. It was that I didn't have enough money to buy popcorn to go see this movie. That was the biggest problem with this movie, is that I didn't have popcorn when I watched it. I'm not even kidding. This movie... Pixar can't make bad movies. They just can't. The pacing was good. The story was great. You have to believe in magic for this movie. This movie is about magic. This movie is about family. This movie is about love. But again, it never beats that over your head. I guess the only real thing to talk about in this movie is really the message behind it, which is, I don't know why this movie came out now in terms of what possessed them to put out a movie with this message, but it really is about family. About how, as bad as you think you've got it, again, with the exception of horrible monster parents, just people who are drunk all the time and beat their kids for no reason. I mean, it's one thing if your kid, if you tell your kids not to do drugs and then you find out your kid is shooting up heroin, you should beat those kids. Because, what the hell? But, aside from those parents, aside from just awful parents, like the drunks, the druggies, the abusive parents, most kids, every single freaking kid, you can watch this movie and every one of you has been in this position. Every one of you watching has been in this position, either with your kids or with your parents, or maybe both. Maybe while you were a kid and now that you're a parent. And it just shows you that no matter how bad you got it, you still got family. You've still got parents. And like I said, believe it or not, most parents are not there to give you a hard time, to make your life miserable. They really do love you. They really do want you. They really want to give you the best of everything. And they really, they're not trying to make your life miserable. They really love you. Even if you think that they're being unfair, sometimes parents don't get it. And this movie shows that. Sometimes they really don't get it. And that's not them being jerks. That's just them not understanding. And at the same time, kids also don't get it. And I really, if anything, I hope anyone goes to see this movie, really takes that away when they go see this movie, is that you can never replace family. And family is always there for you. And really, don't screw over your family. That kind of happens in this movie too, which, that was actually one of the most dramatic parts of the movie. This movie, it just kept ramping up the drama. And I'm not talking about, melodrama. I'm talking about just, one thing happened, and then another, and just your heart rate and your adrenaline level just kept rising. Just perfect rising action. They did everything perfectly. Man, Pixar cannot screw it up. Oh, man. Alright, enough gushing. I give this movie like 6 stars out of 5. This movie was great. I have to put this up there with Avengers, Wall-E. If you like Pixar, if you've gone to see any Pixar movies aside from Cars or Cars 2, then you'll love this movie. And you like those movies, you'll love this movie. This is a great movie. Again, the story, the action, the comedy, the right amount of drama. They even had some songs there. Not sing-along songs like Disney's known for, but, there's a couple scenes where it sounded like Alanis Morissette or maybe Enya, but they had some good background. They had some good scenes where they were singing, and it was very good. It was very appropriate, very well done. And, alright, I guess that's enough about this movie. I have to tell you, if you're going to go see this, if you want to see a good movie, go see this one. If you want to feel a good movie, go see this movie. If you want a movie to bring your kids to, and you've already taken them to see Madagascar 3, go see this movie. If you want to see a family movie, go see this movie. If you want to see a feel-good movie, go see this movie. If you're sitting here watching this review, stop and go see this movie. Anyway, that's all. That's what I've got for this movie. I didn't have anything. I had no preconceptions going into this, except I was expecting good things, and I got them. Great movie. Go see this movie. I'm FilmCrazyAdam, and I'll see you guys next time.